Have you ever felt like your real life hasn't started yet? Like you're waiting for something? A better future, more money, the right relationship, more confidence, more certainty, a version of yourself that finally feels complete. And so you keep telling yourself, when this happens, then I'll finally be happy. When that changes, then I'll finally relax. When life gets better, then I'll finally start living. But what if that day never comes? What if the future you've been waiting for is the very thing keeping you trapped? Because here is a painful truth most people discover too late. Life does not disappear all at once. It disappears quietly, one ordinary day at a time, one sunrise you were too distracted to notice, one conversation you thought you would always have, one dream you kept postponing until someday, 1 year that somehow became 10. And before you realize it, you have spent your entire life preparing to live instead of actually living. According to Buddhist wisdom, this is one of the greatest illusions of the human mind. The belief that peace exists somewhere ahead, the belief that happiness will arrive later, the belief that life is waiting in the future. But what if the future is not where your life is hiding? What if the peace you have been searching for has been available all along? And what if the greatest mistake is not failing to reach tomorrow, but missing today while chasing it? Stay with me until the end, because this lesson may completely change the way you see time, happiness, and the life that is already unfolding in front of you. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now, this breath, this moment, this life. Your life is passing while your mind is living in tomorrow. One of the greatest tragedies of human life is that most people never fully live the life they already have. Not because life never gave them enough. Not because happiness was impossible. Not because peace could not be found. But because their mind was always somewhere else. Always chasing the next moment, always waiting for the next chapter, always believing that real life would begin later. Maybe you know this feeling. You wake up in the morning, but instead of experiencing the day in front of you, your mind immediately rushes into the future. You start thinking about what needs to happen, what could go wrong, what you still need to achieve, what you are afraid of losing. What is still missing from your life? Without realizing it, the present moment disappears before the day has even begun. And this happens to millions of people every single day. They are physically here, but mentally they are living somewhere in tomorrow. They tell themselves, "I'll finally relax when I solve this problem. I'll finally be happy when I have more money. I'll finally enjoy life when I find the right relationship. I'll finally feel peace when everything falls into place." The words change, but the pattern stays the same. Life becomes one long waiting game, a waiting game that never ends. Because every time one goal is reached, the mind creates another. Every time one problem is solved, the mind finds a new problem. Every time one desire is fulfilled, another desire appears. The horizon keeps moving, the finish line keeps moving, and the person keeps running. Many people spend years believing they are moving toward life, but in reality, they are moving away from it. Because life is not hiding in the future, life is happening now, right now, in this breath, in this heartbeat, in this ordinary moment that seems so small. The Buddha understood something that many people spend their entire lives missing. He saw that the mind has a habit of turning the future into a promise. The mind whispers, "Just hold on a little longer. Your happiness is almost here. Your peace is waiting ahead. Your life will begin soon." And because the promise sounds comforting, we believe it. We keep waiting. We keep postponing joy. We keep postponing gratitude. We keep postponing peace. We keep postponing life itself. But there is a painful truth hidden inside this habit. The future never arrives in the way you imagine. Because when tomorrow comes, it becomes today. And the same restless mind that was waiting yesterday starts waiting again. This is why some people achieve everything they once dreamed about and still feel empty inside. They reach the destination they spent years chasing, yet somehow peace never arrives. The reason is simple. The problem was never the destination. The problem was the habit of always looking somewhere else. A thirsty person cannot find water while staring at a mirage. And a restless mind cannot find peace while constantly chasing the next moment. Look back at your own life for a moment. How many beautiful days have passed without your full attention? How many sunsets did you barely notice? How many conversations did you rush through? How many meals did you eat without truly tasting them? How many precious moments slipped away while your mind was worrying about a future that never happened? This is what Buddhist wisdom calls unconscious living. You are alive, but you are not fully present. You are breathing, but you are not fully experiencing the life that surrounds you. Your body is here, but your attention is somewhere else. And where your attention goes, your life goes. Imagine standing beside a peaceful lake. The water is calm. The sky is painted with golden colors. A gentle breeze touches your face. Birds sing in the distance. The entire universe is offering you a moment of beauty, but your mind is busy replaying yesterday or worrying about next year. In that moment, the beauty is not missing. The peace is not missing. Life is not missing. Your attention is missing. And that changes everything. Because peace is not something that appears after life becomes perfect. Peace appears when your attention returns to where life is already happening. This moment, this breath, this step, this conversation, this ordinary day. Most people treat ordinary days as if they do not matter. They think the important moments are still coming. They think the meaningful chapter is somewhere ahead. But one day, you will look back and realize that these ordinary days were your life. These quiet mornings were your life. These simple conversations were your life. These ordinary moments were your life. The moments you rushed through were the moments you can never get back. And this realization can be painful, but it can also wake you up. Because once you see it clearly, you stop treating today like a waiting room. You stop treating the present moment like an obstacle. You stop treating life as something that starts later. Instead, you begin noticing things you have ignored for years. The warmth of sunlight on your skin, the sound of rain outside your window, the comfort of a deep breath, the smile of someone you love, the peace hidden inside a quiet moment. You begin realizing that happiness was never as far away as you thought. It was hidden beneath your constant waiting, beneath your endless chasing, beneath the belief that life was somewhere else. The truth is simple. Life is not waiting for you in the future. Life is waiting for you now. Not tomorrow, not next year, not after everything is fixed. Now. And perhaps the most important question you can ask yourself is this: if happiness arrived today, would you even notice it? Or would your mind already be chasing the next thing? Sit with that question, because your answer may reveal why peace has felt so far away. Not because peace left you, but because your attention left the place where peace lives. And peace has always lived here. In this moment, in this breath, in the life that is already unfolding around you. The greatest loss is not losing the future. The greatest loss is missing the life you already have while waiting for a life that never comes. The future becomes a prison when you expect it to save you. One of the most dangerous beliefs the mind can create is the belief that something in the future will finally save you. Not help you, not improve your life, not make things a little easier, save you. Many people spend years carrying this hidden belief without ever realizing it. They believe that one day something will arrive that changes everything. Maybe it is a relationship. Maybe it is money. Maybe it is success. Maybe it is recognition. Maybe it is a new opportunity. Maybe it is a future version of themselves. Whatever form it takes, the message is always the same. When this finally happens, then I will be okay. When this finally arrives, then I will feel complete. When this finally comes into my life, then my suffering will end. At first, this belief seems harmless. It even feels motivating. It gives you something to look forward to, something to chase, something to hope for. But slowly, without realizing it, that hope begins to change into dependence. And that is where suffering begins. Because now your peace is no longer here. Your peace has been moved into the future. Your happiness has been moved into the future. Your sense of worth has been moved into the future. Your ability to enjoy life has been moved into the future. Everything important has been placed behind a door that does not yet exist. And now you are waiting for that door to open. The problem is that the future makes a terrible savior. Because the future is only an idea, it is a picture in your mind. It is a story you keep telling yourself. It is not something you can touch. It is not something you can live inside. It is not something that can hold you when life becomes difficult. Yet many people spend their entire lives worshipping a future that never arrives. They sacrifice today's peace for tomorrow's promise. They sacrifice today's joy for tomorrow's possibility. They sacrifice today's life for tomorrow's fantasy. And year after year, they remain trapped. This is why Buddhist wisdom speaks so deeply about attachment. Because attachment is not only holding on to people, attachment is holding on to the belief that something outside this moment will finally make you whole. The mind becomes convinced that fulfillment exists somewhere ahead. Just a little further, just one more achievement, one more relationship, one more accomplishment, one more breakthrough. But every time you arrive, the mind moves the destination again. It says, not this. Not enough. Keep going. There is still something missing. And so the prison grows larger. You keep running toward freedom, but the freedom keeps moving. Imagine a person trapped in a desert. In the distance, they see what looks like water. They become excited. They run toward it. But as they get closer, the water disappears. It was only a mirage. Then they see another one, and another one, and another one. Eventually, they spend their entire life chasing water that was never there. This is exactly what happens when you expect the future to save you. The mind keeps creating new mirages, new promises, new destinations, new conditions for happiness. And because those conditions are never fully satisfied, peace remains out of reach. The Buddha understood something profound. He understood that suffering does not come from having goals. Suffering comes from believing that your salvation is hidden inside those goals. There is nothing wrong with wanting a better life. There is nothing wrong with improving yourself. There is nothing wrong with building something meaningful. The problem begins when you believe that you cannot be okay until those things happen. Because now you have become a prisoner, not of reality, but of expectation. You have chained your peace to an uncertain future, and anything that delays that future now feels like suffering. Anything that threatens that future now feels like fear. Anything that stands between you and that future now feels like an enemy. This is why so many people live in constant anxiety. They are not only worried about what might happen, they are terrified that the future they are depending on may never arrive. And if it never arrives, who will they be? What will happen to all the happiness they postponed? What will happen to all the peace they delayed? What will happen to all the life they refused to live while waiting? These are painful questions, but they are also freeing questions, because they reveal a truth that can change everything. You do not need the future to save you. You need awareness. You need presence. You need to stop giving tomorrow a job that only this moment can do. The future cannot give you peace. Peace is a way of meeting this moment. The future cannot make you whole. Wholeness begins when you stop treating yourself as incomplete. The future cannot teach you how to live. Life is teaching you right now. Through this breath, through this challenge, through this ordinary day, many people imagine that enlightenment means escaping life. But Buddhist wisdom teaches the opposite. Freedom begins when you stop escaping life. Freedom begins when you stop running toward an imaginary future and start opening your eyes to the reality in front of you. The sunlight on your skin, the air entering your lungs, the people around you, the lessons hidden inside this very moment. The future may bring wonderful things. It may bring success. It may bring love. It may bring opportunities you cannot yet imagine. But none of those things can replace the peace that comes from being fully present. Because even if the future gives you everything you want, you will still have to experience it in the present moment. Think about that carefully. Every dream you have will one day become a present moment. Every goal you achieve will one day become a present moment. Every blessing you receive will one day become a present moment. If you never learn how to live here, you will not know how to live there either. This is why the future becomes a prison. Not because the future is bad, but because you have asked it to do something it was never meant to do. You have asked it to rescue you. You have asked it to complete you. You have asked it to give you what only awareness can provide. And the moment you stop asking the future to save you, something beautiful begins to happen. The prison door starts opening. You stop chasing life. You start living it. You stop postponing peace. You start practicing it. You stop waiting to become enough. You begin realizing that your worth was never waiting in the future. It was here all along. Hidden beneath the endless belief that something else was needed. The future can inspire you. The future can guide you. The future can give direction to your journey, but it cannot save you, because the freedom you are searching for has never been hiding in tomorrow. It has always been waiting quietly inside this moment, inside this breath, inside the awareness that is listening to these words right now. The mind chases tomorrow to escape the discomfort of today. Most people believe they are chasing the future because they are ambitious, because they have goals, because they want a better life. And sometimes that is true. But if you look deeper, you will discover something surprising. Many people are not running toward tomorrow. They are running away from today. This is one of the most important truths in Buddhist wisdom. The mind often becomes obsessed with the future because the present moment contains something it does not want to face. Maybe it is loneliness. Maybe it is uncertainty. Maybe it is grief. Maybe it is disappointment. Maybe it is fear. Maybe it is the painful feeling that life is not exactly how you hoped it would be. The mind does not like discomfort. It does not like emotional pain. It does not like uncertainty. It does not like sitting quietly with feelings it cannot control. So it creates an escape route, and that escape route is usually called tomorrow. The mind says, "Don't think about this now. Focus on what things will be like later. Imagine how happy you'll be in the future. Keep planning, keep dreaming, keep chasing, and for a little while, this feels good, because imagining tomorrow is often easier than facing today. Dreaming is easier than accepting. Planning is easier than feeling. Escaping is easier than understanding. This is why so many people spend years mentally living in a future that does not exist. Not because they love the future, but because they are uncomfortable with the present. Think about how often this happens. You feel lonely. Instead of understanding your loneliness, your mind starts imagining a future relationship that will supposedly fix everything. You feel uncertain. Instead of accepting uncertainty, your mind begins creating endless plans about the future. You feel unhappy. Instead of exploring the cause of your unhappiness, your mind starts fantasizing about a future where everything is perfect. The pattern is always the same. The present moment feels uncomfortable. The mind escapes into tomorrow. For a few moments, the discomfort disappears, but only temporarily, because eventually reality returns, and when it does, the mind runs away again. This creates a cycle that can last for years, a cycle of avoidance disguised as hope, a cycle of escape disguised as ambition, a cycle of running disguised as progress. The Buddha understood that the mind has a deep fear of stillness, because when everything becomes quiet, there is nowhere left to run, no distraction, no fantasy, no future, only yourself. And for many people, that feels frightening, because beneath all the planning and chasing and worrying, there may be emotions they have never fully faced. Old wounds, old regrets, old fears, old disappointments, pain they have carried for years. The mind would rather keep moving than sit with these things, because movement feels safer than awareness. But Buddhist wisdom teaches something completely different. It teaches that freedom is not found by escaping discomfort. Freedom is found by understanding it. Think about a person standing in front of a closed door. Behind that door is everything they have been avoiding: fear, sadness, loneliness, grief. The person spends years running through hallways trying to find another exit, but every hallway eventually leads back to the same door. Because what is avoided never truly disappears, it waits. Patiently, quietly, until you are ready to face it. This is why chasing tomorrow often becomes exhausting. You keep running, yet somehow nothing changes. The same fears return. The same worries return. The same emptiness returns. The same dissatisfaction returns. The scenery changes, but the suffering remains. Because the real problem was never outside you. The real problem was the pain you were trying not to feel. Many people spend decades searching for answers in the future, when the answer has been waiting inside the present moment all along. The answer is not always another achievement. Sometimes the answer is sitting quietly with yourself. The answer is not always getting what you want. Sometimes the answer is understanding why you feel incomplete without it. The answer is not always changing your circumstances. Sometimes the answer is changing your relationship with your own mind. This takes courage, much more courage than chasing another goal. Because anyone can imagine a better future, but not everyone is willing to sit alone and honestly observe their own heart. Not everyone is willing to face their pain without running from it. Not everyone is willing to remain present when life feels uncomfortable. Yet this is exactly where transformation begins. Not when discomfort disappears, but when you stop treating discomfort as an enemy. The Buddha never taught that life should be free from pain. Pain is part of being human. Loss is part of being human. Uncertainty is part of being human. Change is part of being human. What creates suffering is not the pain itself. It is the constant resistance to pain. It is the endless attempt to escape what is already here. Imagine holding a heavy stone in your hands. The longer you hold it, the heavier it feels. Not because the stone became heavier, but because you keep fighting against its weight. Now imagine placing the stone down. The struggle ends immediately. This is what happens when you stop running from your experience. You stop fighting reality. You stop arguing with life. You stop demanding that this moment be different before you allow yourself to be present. And suddenly, something changes. Not outside you, inside you. The discomfort may still exist, but it no longer controls you. The uncertainty may still exist, but it no longer terrifies you. The sadness may still exist, but it no longer owns your attention. You begin discovering a quiet strength that was always there beneath the noise, a strength that does not come from controlling the future, a strength that comes from being fully present. This is why awareness is so powerful. Awareness does not erase pain. It transforms your relationship with pain. Awareness teaches you how to stay, how to observe, how to breathe, how to remain grounded even when life feels uncertain. Most people spend their lives asking, "How can I escape this feeling?" But Buddhist wisdom asks a different question. What happens if I stop running from it? That question changes everything, because the moment you stop running, you begin seeing clearly. You begin understanding yourself. You begin healing. You begin growing, not through escape, but through presence. And perhaps this is why so many people never find the peace they are looking for. They keep searching for it somewhere ahead, somewhere tomorrow, somewhere in the future. But peace is not hiding in tomorrow. Peace is found in your willingness to fully meet today, even when today feels uncomfortable, even when today feels uncertain, even when today is not what you hoped it would be. Because every time you stop running from this moment, you take back a piece of your freedom. Every time you stop escaping into tomorrow, you return to your life. Every time you face reality with awareness instead of resistance, you become stronger than your fears. And eventually, you realize something beautiful. The future was never the answer. The future was simply the place your mind went when it was afraid to be here. And the moment you stop using tomorrow as an escape, today becomes a place of transformation, a place of healing, a place of wisdom, a place where real peace can finally begin. You keep postponing happiness until you become someone else. One of the most painful traps of the human mind is the belief that you must become someone else before you deserve to be happy. Many people spend their entire lives waiting for a future version of themselves, a stronger version, a more successful version, a more attractive version, a more confident version, a more disciplined version, a more healed version. And until that version arrives, they refuse to fully enjoy the life they already have. They tell themselves, When I become more successful, then I'll feel worthy. When I become more confident, then I'll finally speak freely. When I become better, then I'll finally love myself. When I become the person I want to be, then happiness will begin. At first, these thoughts seem reasonable. After all, growth is important. Improvement is important. Learning is important. Buddhist wisdom never teaches you to stop growing. But there is a huge difference between growing and rejecting yourself, and most people do not see that difference. Growth says, I want to improve my life. Self-rejection says, I cannot accept myself until I improve my life. Growth comes from wisdom. Self-rejection comes from suffering. And many people spend years believing they are growing when they are actually fighting themselves. Every morning they wake up and silently tell themselves, you are not enough yet. You are not ready yet. You are not worthy yet. You still need to become someone else. Imagine carrying that message every day. Imagine hearing it in your mind year after year. Eventually, it becomes your identity. You stop seeing yourself as a human being who is growing. You start seeing yourself as a problem that must be fixed. And this is where happiness quietly disappears. Because happiness cannot grow in a mind that is constantly at war with itself. The Buddha understood something profound. He understood that suffering increases whenever you reject reality, and the reality you reject most often is yourself. You reject your current life. You reject your current circumstances. You reject your current progress. You reject your current abilities. You reject your current self. And because of this rejection, you begin living in an endless state of dissatisfaction. No matter how much progress you make, it never feels enough. Because the problem was never your progress. The problem was the belief that your worth depended on your progress. Look carefully at how the mind works. A person says, if I lose 10 pounds, then I'll finally be happy. They lose 10 pounds. For a few days, they feel good. Then the mind creates a new condition. Now I need to lose more. Someone else says, if I earn more money, then I'll finally relax. They earn more money. For a short time, they feel relieved. Then the mind says, now you need even more. Someone else says, if I find the right relationship, then I'll finally feel complete. They find someone they love. Yet after some time, the same insecurity returns. The same restlessness returns. The same feeling of not being enough returns. Why? Because the mind keeps moving the finish line. It keeps creating a future version of you that is supposedly worthy of happiness. And every time you get closer, the finish line moves again. This creates a life of endless chasing, a life where happiness is always one step away, a life where peace is always delayed, a life where you never fully arrive. Buddhist wisdom teaches that this is an illusion, because there will always be another version of yourself. There will always be another goal, another improvement, another challenge, another mountain to climb. If happiness depends on becoming perfect, happiness will never come, because perfection is not a destination, it is a mirage. The truth is that you are not supposed to wait until you become someone else before you allow yourself to live. You are supposed to grow while living. You are supposed to learn while living. You are supposed to heal while living. You are supposed to improve while living. Many people postpone joy because they believe they must earn it. They treat happiness like a reward that comes after enough suffering. But happiness is not something you earn through self-hatred. Peace is not something you earn through constant criticism. Self-respect is not something you earn by attacking yourself every day. The strange truth is that transformation often begins the moment you stop hating who you are. Think about a flower. The flower does not become beautiful by hating itself while it grows. The tree does not become strong by rejecting its roots. The river does not reach the ocean by fighting every inch of its path. Nature grows through acceptance. Nature grows through patience. Nature grows through allowing. And you are part of nature. Yet many people expect themselves to grow through punishment. They expect themselves to heal through criticism. They expect themselves to become confident through self-rejection. And then they wonder why they feel exhausted. The mind becomes trapped in a painful cycle. You create an ideal version of yourself. Then you compare your real self to that image. Then you feel inadequate. Then you chase harder. Then you compare again. Then you suffer again. And the cycle repeats, year after year. The future version of you becomes a kind of idol, a person you worship but never become, a person you keep chasing but never catch, a person who steals your ability to appreciate who you are today. This is why Buddhist wisdom invites you back to the present. Not because growth is bad, but because growth becomes unhealthy when it is fueled by self-rejection. You do not need to become someone else to deserve peace. You do not need to become someone else to deserve love. You do not need to become someone else to deserve compassion. You do not need to become someone else to deserve this moment. You can improve yourself and still appreciate yourself. You can grow and still respect yourself. You can change and still accept yourself. These things are not opposites. In fact, they support each other. The people who grow in the healthiest way are often the people who stop treating themselves like enemies. They stop fighting every flaw. They stop chasing perfection. They stop postponing happiness until some imaginary future arrives. Instead, they learn something far more powerful. They learn how to be present with who they are today. Not because today is perfect, but because today is real. And reality is where transformation happens. Not in imagination. Not in fantasy. Not in some future version of yourself. Here, now, inside this imperfect life, inside this unfinished journey, inside this very moment. One day, you may become wiser, stronger, more confident, more peaceful, more experienced. But that future version of you is not created by rejecting the person you are today. That future version of you is created by caring for the person you are today. By respecting them, by understanding them, by being patient with them, by giving them permission to live before they become perfect. And perhaps that is one of the greatest lessons of all. Happiness does not begin when you become someone else. Happiness begins when you stop believing that you have to. The moment you stop postponing your worth, the moment you stop postponing your peace, the moment you stop postponing your life, you discover something that was always true. You were never waiting to become enough. You were already enough to begin. The word someday has stolen more dreams than failure ever has. There is a word that sounds harmless, a word most people use every day, a word so common that almost nobody questions it. Yet this single word has quietly stolen more dreams, more happiness, more peace, and more life than failure ever has. That word is someday. Someday I will start. Someday I will change. Someday I will follow my dream. Someday I will take care of my health. Someday I will learn that skill. Someday I will travel. Someday I will write that book. Someday I will forgive. Someday I will be happy. At first, Someday sounds hopeful. It sounds positive. It sounds responsible. It sounds patient. But beneath the surface, someday often hides something very different. It hides hesitation. It hides fear. It hides self-doubt. It hides avoidance. And most importantly, it hides the illusion that you have unlimited time. The mind loves someday because someday asks nothing from you. Today requires action. Someday requires imagination. Today asks you to begin. Someday asks you to wait. Today asks you to face uncertainty. Someday allows you to avoid it. This is why the mind feels comfortable with someday, because someday creates the feeling of progress without requiring the discomfort of movement. You can tell yourself for years that you will change someday, and because the intention exists, you feel as though you are already moving toward the goal. But intention alone does not change a life. A dream remains a dream until it enters the present moment. Think about how many people spend years waiting for the perfect time, the perfect opportunity, the perfect motivation, the perfect circumstances, the perfect version of themselves. They believe that one day everything will align. One day they will feel ready. One day they will finally begin. But Buddhist wisdom reminds us of something deeply important. Life does not wait for readiness. Life keeps moving. The sun rises whether you feel ready or not. The seasons change whether you feel ready or not. The years pass whether you feel ready or not. And one day, many people wake up and realize that the someday they were waiting for never arrived. Not because it was impossible, but because it was always supposed to become today. The truth is that most dreams do not die because people fail. Most dreams die because people postpone. Failure can teach you. Failure can strengthen you. Failure can make you wiser. But postponement slowly steals time itself, and time is the one thing that never returns. Imagine standing on the shore of a river. Each drop of water represents a day of your life. You watch the water moving. One day passes, then another, then another. At first, it seems like there is plenty of time. The river looks endless. You think you can always begin later. You think there will always be another chance, another month, another year, another opportunity. But the river never stops flowing. The water never turns around. The days never come back. And before you realize it, years have disappeared into the distance. This is why the Buddha spoke so often about awareness. Because awareness reminds you that life is happening now. Not next year. Not someday. Now. The mind often creates a fantasy about the future. It imagines a magical day when everything feels easier. A day when motivation is effortless. A day when fear disappears. A day when confidence suddenly arrives. But that day rarely comes. Because courage is not something that appears before action. Courage often appears because of action. Confidence is not something you gain before you begin. Confidence is something you build while beginning. Strength is not something you find before taking the first step. Strength is something you discover by taking the first step. This is why waiting can become so dangerous. The longer you wait, the more normal waiting feels. The more normal waiting feels, the harder it becomes to begin. Eventually, waiting becomes part of your identity. You become someone who is always preparing, always planning, always thinking, always imagining, but never fully stepping forward. Many people are not trapped by failure. They are trapped by endless preparation. They spend years studying life without living it, years planning without starting, years dreaming without moving, years hoping without acting. And then they wonder why nothing changes. The answer is simple. Life responds to participation. Not intention alone, not wishes alone, not dreams alone. Life responds when you show up, even imperfectly, even fearfully, even with uncertainty. One small step today carries more power than 1,000 promises about someday, because reality only exists in the present moment. Your future is built here. Your habits are built here. Your peace is built here. Your transformation is built here. The future is not created by what you plan to do. The future is created by what you repeatedly do now. This is why the word someday can become a prison. It convinces you that life is still waiting. It convinces you that there is always more time. It convinces you that the moment to begin is somewhere ahead. But the moment to begin has always been here. The Buddha taught that one of the greatest illusions is believing that we truly know how much time we have. The truth is that nobody knows. Nobody knows how many mornings remain. Nobody knows how many opportunities remain. Nobody knows how many conversations remain. Nobody knows how many chances remain to become the person they wish to be. This is not meant to create fear. It is meant to create clarity, because clarity changes priorities. When you understand that life is precious, you stop postponing what matters most. You stop waiting for permission. You stop waiting for certainty. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You stop waiting for the future to give you what only the present can provide. And perhaps the saddest part about someday is this. Many people think they are protecting themselves by waiting, but often they are only protecting themselves from growth. They are protecting themselves from discomfort. They are protecting themselves from failure. They are protecting themselves from risk. Yet in doing so, they also protect themselves from possibility, from transformation, from discovery, from becoming. Because every meaningful thing in life requires stepping into uncertainty. Every meaningful thing begins before you feel fully ready. Every meaningful thing starts with a decision made in the present moment. Not someday, today, right now. This does not mean you must change your entire life overnight. That is not the lesson. The lesson is much simpler. Stop giving your life away to a word. Stop placing your happiness inside a future that never arrives. Stop waiting for a perfect version of yourself. Stop believing that tomorrow will magically create what today refuses to practice. Instead, ask yourself a simple question. What is one thing I keep promising myself that I will do someday? Then ask an even more powerful question. Why not begin today? Not perfectly, not dramatically, not all at once. Just one step, one honest step, one small action, one decision that proves you are no longer waiting for life to begin. Because one day, you will look back on this moment, and you will either be grateful that you started, or you will wish that you had. The choice is always made in the same place. Not in the future, not in someday, but here. In this breath, in this moment, in this day that has already arrived. And when you finally stop saying someday, something extraordinary happens. Your life begins moving again. Not because the world changed, but because you did. And that is where every meaningful transformation begins. You are missing the only life that actually exists. There is a question that very few people ever stop to ask themselves. A simple question, but one that has the power to completely change the way you live. The question is this: where is your life actually happening? Not where do you wish it was happening, Not where you hope it will happen someday, not where it happened years ago. Where is it happening right now? The answer is obvious. Your life is happening here, in this moment, in this breath, in this ordinary day. Yet for most people, this is exactly the place they rarely visit. Their bodies live in the present, but their minds live somewhere else. Sometimes in the past, sometimes in the future, almost anywhere except here. And because of this, they miss the only life that actually exists. Think about it carefully. The past is gone. No matter how much you think about it, you cannot return to it. You cannot relive it. You cannot rewrite it. You cannot change it. The future has not arrived. No matter how much you imagine it, you cannot live inside it. You cannot touch it. You cannot experience it. You cannot breathe in it. The only place where life can ever happen is now, this moment. And yet the human mind spends most of its energy somewhere else. Replaying old conversations, replaying old mistakes, reliving old pain, or worrying about things that have not happened, planning things that may never happen, fearing things that may never happen, waiting for things that may never happen. And while all of this is happening inside the mind, life quietly continues moving. The sun rises, the seasons change, children grow up, parents grow older, friendships change, years disappear, and many people do not notice until it is too late. One day, they look back and wonder where the time went. The answer is painful. The time went where their attention went. Because where your attention lives, your life lives. This is one of the deepest teachings of Buddhist wisdom. Your experience of life is shaped by where you place your awareness. Not by how much money you have, not by how many achievements you collect, not by how many goals you reach, but by whether you are actually present for the life you are living. Imagine sitting with someone you love, maybe a parent, a friend, a partner, a child. They are speaking to you. They are sharing a moment with you, but your mind is somewhere else. You are thinking about tomorrow, thinking about work, thinking about problems, thinking about the future. In that moment, are you truly with them? Physically, yes. Mentally, no. The moment exists, but you are absent from it. This is how many people spend their entire lives, present in body, absent in spirit, alive, but not fully awake. And the tragedy is that they often do not realize it until something is gone. A loved one passes away, a chapter of life ends, a relationship changes, an opportunity disappears. And suddenly they realize how much they overlooked, how much beauty they rushed past, how many moments they failed to fully experience. Buddhist wisdom teaches that suffering often comes from this constant absence, not because life is lacking, but because attention is lacking. The mind becomes so busy chasing the next moment that it misses the one it is living. Think about how often this happens. You drink a cup of tea but barely taste it. You eat a meal but barely notice it. You walk outside but barely see the sky. You hear birds singing but never really listen. You hug someone you love while thinking about something else. You live entire days without fully arriving inside them. The mind keeps saying, later. Not now. Something more important is coming. But eventually, life asks a difficult question. What if this is the important moment? What if the moment you are rushing through is the moment you will one day miss the most? What if the ordinary morning becomes the memory you long for? What if the simple conversation becomes the voice you wish you could hear again? What if the life you are waiting for is already here? This is the great awakening that Buddhist wisdom points toward. The realization that life is not hiding somewhere else. Life is not waiting in the future. Life is not locked behind success. Life is not waiting until all your problems disappear. Life is happening now. Not perfect life. Not ideal life. Real life. The life that is breathing right now. The life that is unfolding right now. The life that is asking for your attention right now. Many people imagine that awakening means discovering something extraordinary. But often awakening is simply seeing what has been in front of you the entire time. The warmth of sunlight on your skin, the sound of rain outside your window, the feeling of air entering your lungs, the beauty of a quiet moment, the miracle of being alive. These things seem small only because the mind has become addicted to chasing bigger things. The mind says, "This isn't enough. This isn't important. This isn't what I need." But awareness sees differently. Awareness sees that life is made of moments, not achievements, not titles, not possessions, moments. And if you are absent from those moments, you are absent from your life. This is why the Buddha taught mindfulness, not as a technique, not as a trend, but as a way of returning home to reality, returning home to the present, returning home to the only place where peace can ever be found. Mindfulness is not about making life perfect. It is about becoming available for the life you already have. It is about learning to sit with a moment without trying to escape it, to walk without rushing, to listen without planning your next thought, to breathe without needing the next breath to be different, to exist without constantly demanding more from life. And something beautiful happens when you begin practicing this. The world starts slowing down, not because time changes, but because your attention changes. You begin noticing things you once ignored. You begin appreciating things you once overlooked. You begin finding beauty where you once saw nothing. You begin discovering peace where you once felt restless. The external world may remain the same, but your experience of it becomes completely different because you are finally present. And perhaps the saddest truth is that many people spend their entire lives searching for meaning while ignoring the life that contains it. They search in the future. They search in success. They search in possessions. They search in achievements. Meanwhile, meaning quietly waits in the present moment, waiting to be noticed, waiting to be experienced, waiting for your attention to return. One day, every future you are imagining will become a present moment. Every dream, every goal, every achievement, every blessing. When that day comes, will you know how to be there? Or will your mind already be chasing something else? This is the question that changes everything. Because the quality of your life is not determined by how much you have. It is determined by how much of your life you actually experience. And the only life you can ever experience is the one unfolding now, not yesterday, not tomorrow, now, this breath, this moment, this ordinary day. The life you keep waiting for does not exist. The life you keep remembering no longer exists. The only life that actually exists is the one happening right in front of you. And the moment you truly understand that, you stop chasing life. You start living it. You stop waiting. You start noticing. You stop escaping. You start arriving. And in that arrival, you discover something that was always here. Peace. Not in the future, not in the past, but in this moment. The only place where life has ever existed. The finish line keeps moving because desire can never be satisfied. Perhaps one of the most painful discoveries a person can make is this: the thing you thought would finally make you happy often does not. Not because it was bad, not because it had no value, but because the mind that was searching before is still searching after it arrives. This is one of the deepest teachings of Buddhist wisdom. The mind believes that happiness is waiting at the finish line, so it begins running. It says, if I can just achieve this one thing, then I'll finally be at peace. If I can just get this job, then I'll finally relax. If I can just earn more money, then I'll finally feel secure. If I can just find the right relationship, then I'll finally feel complete. If I can just reach this goal, then everything will be different. And for a while, this belief gives you energy. It gives you direction. It gives you hope. So you work. You struggle. You sacrifice. You chase. You spend months, sometimes years, moving toward that finish line. And eventually, one day, you arrive. You get what you wanted. You achieve what you dreamed about. You finally reach the place you once believed would change everything. And for a brief moment, it feels wonderful. You feel excited, relieved, proud, satisfied. But then something strange happens. The feeling fades. The excitement fades. The satisfaction fades. And slowly, almost invisibly, the mind begins searching again. Now it wants something else, something bigger, something better, something new. The finish line moves. Again. This is why so many people feel confused. They spend years chasing a goal, believing it will finally complete them. Then they achieve it and discover that the emptiness remains. Not because the achievement failed, but because desire never stops creating new destinations. The Buddha saw this clearly. He understood that desire behaves like a fire. When you feed a fire, it does not say, "Thank you, I have enough." It asks for more fuel. And the more fuel you give it, the larger it becomes. The untrained mind works the same way. It believes satisfaction is always one step ahead, always one achievement away, always one purchase away, always one relationship away, always one success away. And because of this, it never fully arrives. Imagine climbing a mountain. You struggle through storms. You endure exhaustion. You keep going because you believe that once you reach the top, everything will finally feel complete. Then you reach the summit. For a moment, the view is breathtaking. But soon, your eyes find another mountain. A higher mountain, a bigger mountain, and suddenly, the mountain you spent years climbing no longer feels enough. This is how desire traps the mind. Not because wanting things is wrong, but because the mind turns every achievement into another starting point. It cannot rest. It cannot stay. It cannot appreciate. It only knows how to chase. Many people live their entire lives this way. They keep reaching goals but never reach peace. They keep collecting achievements but never collect contentment. They keep improving their circumstances but never improve their relationship with desire itself. And this is why they remain restless. The external world changes, but the inner experience stays the same. The car changes. The house changes. The income changes. The relationship changes. The status changes. But the feeling of something is still missing remains, because the problem was never outside. The problem was the belief that something outside could permanently satisfy an inside that had never learned contentment. Think about how often this happens. A person says, "If I had more money, I'd finally stop worrying." They get more money. For a while, they feel better. Then new worries appear, new fears appear, new desires appear. Someone says, "If I find the right partner, then I'll be happy." They find someone. For a while, they feel complete. Then the mind begins worrying about losing them, or wanting more from them, or expecting them to solve problems they were never meant to solve. Again, the finish line moves. Someone says, "If I become successful, then I'll finally feel worthy." Success arrives. Yet somehow, the feeling of not being enough remains. The finish line moves again. The mind always promises that peace is just ahead, but just ahead never arrives, because desire survives by creating distance between you and satisfaction. It whispers, "You'll be happy when," and whatever comes after those words becomes your new prison. This does not mean you should stop having goals. Buddhist wisdom is not against growth. It is not against ambition. It is not against improvement. The problem is not having goals. The problem is expecting goals to provide what only awareness can provide. A goal can improve your life, but it cannot permanently satisfy your mind. A relationship can bring love, but it cannot permanently satisfy your mind. Success can create opportunities, but it cannot permanently satisfy your mind. Because the mind that depends on external things for happiness will always need another external thing, and another, and another. This is why contentment is so powerful. Contentment does not mean giving up. It does not mean becoming lazy. It does not mean abandoning your dreams. Contentment means learning how to appreciate this moment while still moving toward your goals. It means refusing to make your happiness dependent on the next achievement. It means refusing to postpone your peace until some future condition is met. A content person can still grow, still improve, still achieve, but they are no longer emotionally starving while they do it. They are no longer telling themselves, "I'll finally be okay when," because they understand something deeper. They understand that no future achievement can replace inner peace. No future success can replace awareness. No future possession can replace presence. No future victory can replace gratitude. The Buddha taught that suffering ends when craving loses its control over the mind. Not when every desire disappears, but when you stop believing that every desire must be fulfilled before you can be at peace. This realization changes everything, because suddenly, life stops feeling like a race. You stop chasing happiness. You begin practicing happiness. You stop waiting for gratitude. You begin feeling gratitude. You stop searching for reasons to enjoy life. You begin noticing the life already in front of you. And perhaps this is the greatest freedom of all. To reach for something without being owned by it. To work toward something without worshipping it. To desire something without making your peace depend on it. Because the moment your happiness depends on the finish line will always move. But the moment your happiness comes from presence, the race finally ends. You realize that the peace you were searching for was never waiting at the top of the mountain. It was available during the climb. It was available in the breath you ignored, the moment you overlooked. The life you kept postponing. The finish line keeps moving because desire can never be fully satisfied, but awareness can. Awareness can rest. Awareness can appreciate. Awareness can arrive. And when awareness arrives, you discover something extraordinary. You were never chasing happiness. You were chasing the belief that happiness was somewhere else. And the moment that belief falls away, the endless race finally loses its power over you. For the first time, you stop running, and for the first time, you are truly free. Peace arrives the moment you stop waiting and start living. After everything we have explored, we arrive at perhaps the most important lesson of all. A lesson so simple that the mind often overlooks it. A lesson so powerful that it can completely transform the way you experience your life. Peace arrives the moment you stop waiting and start living. Most people spend years believing that peace is something they must find, something they must earn, something they must achieve, something they must chase. But Buddhist wisdom points in a very different direction. It teaches that peace is not something you chase. Peace is something you stop running from. Think about how much of your life has been spent waiting for circumstances to improve, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for more money, waiting for more confidence, waiting for more certainty, waiting for more answers, waiting for life to finally become what you hoped it would be. The mind becomes convinced that peace is waiting at the end of the journey, just a little further. Just one more achievement, just one more breakthrough, just one more change. But what if the journey itself is where peace has been waiting? What if peace was never hiding in the future? What if peace was waiting in the present moment all along? This is the great turning point in Buddhist wisdom. The moment you stop asking life to become different before you allow yourself to be present. The moment you stop making happiness conditional. The moment you stop saying, "I'll be happy when," and start asking, "How can I fully live this moment?" Because the truth is that life is not happening later. Life is happening now. The future is only a thought. Tomorrow is only an idea. But this moment is real. This breath is real. This heartbeat is real. This experience is real. And every second you spend refusing to be here is a second of life that quietly passes by. Many people believe they are waiting for life to begin, but life began a long time ago. It began with your first breath. It has been unfolding every day since. The problem is not that life has not arrived. The problem is that attention has not arrived. The mind keeps standing at the doorway of the present moment while staring at the horizon. Always looking ahead, always waiting, always expecting. And because of this, it misses the beauty of what is already here. Imagine a traveler walking through a beautiful garden. Flowers bloom all around them. Birds sing in the trees. The sunlight shines through the leaves. A gentle breeze moves through the air. But the traveler never notices any of it, because they are obsessed with reaching the end of the path. Hour after hour they walk. Day after day they walk. Never stopping. Never looking around. Never appreciating where they are. Then eventually they reach the end. And suddenly they realize something heartbreaking. The destination was ordinary. The beauty was always in the journey. This is exactly how many people live. They rush through years of their lives trying to reach a future moment that will supposedly complete them. Meanwhile, life keeps offering them small miracles every day. A peaceful sunrise, a meaningful conversation, the laughter of someone they love, the warmth of sunlight, the comfort of a quiet evening, the gift of simply being alive. Yet these moments are overlooked because the mind is too busy chasing the next thing. The Buddha taught that awakening is not about finding a different world. It is about seeing this world clearly, seeing this moment clearly, seeing your life clearly, for what it truly is. And when you begin seeing clearly, something extraordinary happens. You stop treating the present moment like an obstacle. You stop treating today like a waiting room. You stop treating your life like a rehearsal for some future event. Instead, you begin participating in your life. fully, honestly, completely. You begin listening when people speak. You begin noticing the sky. You begin feeling gratitude for simple things. You begin appreciating moments that once seemed ordinary, not because your life became perfect, but because your awareness became present. This is one of the greatest misunderstandings about peace. Many people think peace means having no problems, no challenges, no uncertainty, no pain. But that is not peace. That is fantasy. Peace is something deeper. Peace is the ability to remain present even when life is imperfect. Peace is the ability to breathe even when answers are unclear. Peace is the ability to appreciate this moment without demanding that it becomes something else. The truth is that your problems may not disappear tomorrow. Life may still be uncertain. People may still disappoint you. Plans may still change. Challenges may still come. But none of those things prevent peace. What prevents peace is the belief that peace can only exist after those things disappear. And once that belief falls away, everything changes. You stop postponing your life. You stop postponing your joy. You stop postponing your gratitude. You stop postponing your peace. Because you finally understand something that Buddhist wisdom has been teaching for thousands of years. There is no future moment where life finally begins. There is only this moment, and another moment, and another. This is your life. Not someday, not later, not after everything is fixed. Now. This ordinary day is your life. This breath is your life. This conversation is your life. This moment is your life. And when you truly understand this, a profound freedom begins to emerge. You stop chasing. You stop rushing. You stop waiting for permission to live. You stop believing that happiness is somewhere else. Instead, you begin arriving, again and again. You arrive in your breath. You arrive in your body. You arrive in your surroundings. You arrive in your experience. And every time you arrive, peace becomes possible. Not because you found something new, but because you stopped abandoning what was already here. Perhaps the most beautiful truth of all is this: the peace you have been searching for has never been hiding in the future. It has never been waiting inside a goal. It has never been locked behind success. It has never been hidden inside another person. It has been quietly waiting beneath all the mental noise, waiting beneath all the chasing, waiting beneath all the endless belief that something else was needed. And the moment you stop running toward tomorrow, the moment you stop postponing your life, the moment you stop treating the present as a bridge to somewhere better, you finally discover what has been here all along. A stillness that does not depend on circumstances, a peace that does not depend on outcomes, a contentment that does not depend on achievement, a freedom that does not depend on the future. Because peace does not arrive when the future becomes perfect. Peace arrives when you stop waiting for life to begin and start living the life that is already here, fully, deeply, gratefully, one breath at a time, one moment at a time, one beautiful, ordinary day at a time. And in that simple return to the present, you discover the truth that changes everything. You were never separated from peace. You were only separated from this moment. And now, at last, you have come home. And perhaps this is the truth your heart has been trying to tell you all along. You do not need to wait for a better future to begin living. You do not need another achievement to become worthy. You do not need another answer to finally feel at peace. You do not need life to become perfect before you allow yourself to be present. Because the life you have been searching for is not waiting somewhere ahead. It is here. It has always been here, hidden inside ordinary mornings, hidden inside quiet moments, hidden inside the breaths you barely notice, hidden inside the simple gift of being alive. For so long, you may have believed that happiness was standing somewhere in the distance, waiting for you to catch up. But perhaps happiness was never asking you to chase it. Perhaps it was asking you to stop, to slow down, to look around, to notice the life that has been unfolding around you this entire time. One day, this chapter of your life will become a memory. This ordinary day will become part of your past. The people around you will change. The seasons will change. You will change. Everything you see today will eventually belong to yesterday. And when that day comes, you will not wish that you spent more time worrying about tomorrow. You will wish you had been here. You will wish you had noticed the beauty. You will wish you had appreciated the small moments. You will wish you had allowed yourself to live. That is why the greatest act of wisdom is not learning how to control the future. It is learning how to fully experience the present. Because this moment is not a waiting room. This moment is your life. This breath is your life. This heartbeat is your life. This beautiful, imperfect, unfinished moment is your life. So stop waiting for life to begin. Stop waiting to become someone else. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop waiting for happiness to arrive from somewhere outside yourself. Come back to this moment. Come back to this breath. Come back to the life that is already here. And if these words touched something deep inside you today, let them be more than inspiration. Let them be a turning point. A quiet promise to yourself that you will no longer spend your life chasing tomorrow while missing today. Because the future is uncertain, but this moment is real, and real life is happening now. Thank you for spending these moments with me. Until next time, take a slow breath. Release what no longer needs to be carried. Be gentle with yourself. And remember, the peace you have been searching for is not waiting at the end of the road. It has been walking beside you all along. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to pause and reflect on one thing in your life that you have been postponing until someday. And if you are on this journey of inner peace, mindfulness, and self-discovery, consider subscribing to Golden Lotus Wisdom and joining our growing community. Here, we explore timeless Buddhist wisdom that helps you quiet the mind, let go of unnecessary suffering, and return to the peace that already exists within you. If this video touched your heart, leave a comment below with the words, "I choose to live now." Sometimes a simple sentence can become the beginning of a new way of living. Until our next journey together, take care of your mind, protect your peace, and remember, your life is not waiting in the future. Your life is happening now.